And DeRusha Eats is brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. Nearly 20,000 people are members of a pizza-loving online Facebook community that was started by our guest, Dan Gouget from the Twin Cities Pie Chasers is with us. Dan, it's good to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
You're here because a week from Saturday, your pizza group has become so influential, so active, that you're having a pizza summit, a second pizza summit over at Summit Brewing Company.
Yes. They reached out. They wanted to see if we could just do a little get together with some trucks, and it turned into this, which was very popular last time. It was good. It went to a good thing. We did food shelf drive with Neighborhood House in St. Paul, and all the vendors were happy. Summit was happy. Neighborhood House was extremely happy. So
pretty unbelievable. I mean, you're all, it's people show up, they buy the slice or whatever they want, but it's also this great fundraiser for Neighborhood House, right?
Yes, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with pizza and beer, but if you're going to have some kind of influence, you should do something good with it, I think.
Yeah.
So I think just reaching out to Neighborhood House, and they were on board, and they were extremely happy with all the donations. I think this group has a lot of good people in it, and they love to help out when they can, and they stepped up pretty good last year. I think we got them close to, I think, 700 pounds of donations.
Wow.
So it was good. It was a good turnout. I'm hoping we can do a little better this year.
May 9th is the date, Saturday over at Summit. And let's talk about the pizza scene in Minnesota right now. Your group started with just it was pretty small in the early days.
Well, it was meant to be just for me and my friends. It started with the text between me and my friend Adam, and then it just kind of grew on its own. And then that burger group is really big, and it caught some air in the burger group. And then I think in one day I had 500 people come over from that burger group, and then it just kind of evolved from there and turned into a good thing.
Almost 20,000 members in Twin Cities Pie Chasers. And your approach I really appreciate, because negative reviews and feedback are welcomed, but with respect.
Yeah, be an adult.
Yeah.
Be an adult.
And you guys police that pretty well too. So as much as you can, so it doesn't become like a cesspool, right?
Yeah. I mean, some people will always want to make things personal. There's no need. I mean, these people work hard for their money. They work hard to keep that business going. And maybe it's just not your flavor. That's fine. But there's no need to get personal with it. And a lot of these owners, they hear the critiques and they appreciate it. It helps them fix things that they might need tweaking.
When you look at the scene right now in Minnesota, how long have you guys been around as Twin Cities Pie Chasers?
Oh, I've just had the group for I think it's since right before COVID, 2019. And then COVID hit, and it kind of...
Well, pizza really blew up during COVID.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, those guys were designed for that format, and they made tons of money. And
carry out, let's go. This is what we do.
Yeah. Carry out, delivery, all that. Yeah, they were set up for that. Unfortunately, the last year or so, we've seen a lot of closures. I think with just inflation on these prices, it's not the moneymaker it used to be.
Right.
But
labor costs what it does, and government regulations and sick time and all those things add up.
Yeah, working in retail, I say if they can jack the price on something, they're never giving it back to you. Yeah. And that's kind of what's happening with these guys right now.
When you look at sort of the variety, and I love pizza. I'm writing I got a pizza story coming out in Minnesota Monthly.
Oh,
it's going to be a bit, magazines, man. I write that thing, and 2 months later, 3 months later, it shows up. I do think the variety of styles of pizza that we have just blows away what we used to have 10 years ago. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Detroit style has been sort of the hottest thing over the last couple of years, would you say?
There's not a lot of them, though.
No, a lot of them haven't.
There's about...
Rectangle,
4 or 5 notable ones: Norm's, Wayside, Melt. But
that's about it.
Iron Exchange.
Yeah,
I've not made it out there yet, but there's a small amount of them.
Do you have a favorite style of pizza yourself?
Well, it's always been tavern, the thin crust, because those you can get well done, and I like a well done pizza. That well done doesn't work on the wood fire or the
Yeah.
New York, maybe a little bit, but not so much all the wood fires.
I like a well done pizza
Yeah.
too. It's sort of like the proper way to cook a Haggis is
Yeah.
just to the right to the edge of burnt,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you can't say burnt in Minnesota.
know, everybody-
Oh my good
oh.
lord.
So I posted a video at OG Zaza, which OG Zaza, very controversial.
Yes, yes.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. But
Well,
a
we,
lot of people are like, it's burnt. It's
yeah.
burnt.
we both know Josh, and he's an upfront guy. He likes the publicity, and
He doesn't mind if people are mad. At him.
no, if he's
No.
selling pizza, he's happy. Yeah, Minnesotans just can't get around that word char. They want to call it burnt all the time, which is just it's funny to me.
Do you think it's because we're essentially a beige people? Like we just like our pizza to be the same shade. as
Why,
us?
which I find ironic. New York seems to be the most bland style out there, and then Minnesota has the seasoned
Yeah.
sauces, which is kind of funny to me, as we're known for being Minnesota bland.
I know it is true. Like,
Yeah.
and that to me goes back to like the Red Savoy days
Yeah.
when the original Red Savoy really had a
Mhm.
bit of a zingy or
Yeah.
zesty red sauce,
Mhm.
which I prefer. I don't
Yeah.
love the sweet sauce.
Yeah.
I either want it to be kind of savory
Yeah.
with more like oregano note in it,
Yeah,
or like give me a little spicy. I'm all right.
Yeah.
with that. Not too spicy.
no, not too spicy. We don't want that. But
Because you can only eat a couple slices. Then your
Yeah.
mouth's on fire.
that's
you know?
that's the drawback for me on Detroit style. It's
Mhm.
like one piece. I'm
One
done.
piece. Yeah, same thing. Dan Gouget with the Twin Cities Pie Chasers is with us. What are your do you have a go-to, like your favorite pizzas?
Oh, it used to be Delano's. I mean, that was the controversy of back then of Delano's versus Pizza Shack down on
Yeah.
Lake Street.
Yeah.
Now I was like, with the way wood fire has taken off, I've kind of gravitated a little more towards that. One of the trucks that'll be there, Red Rocket Pizza Company. I think he does a phenomenal job with his crust, leopardian as we call it, and not burnt. Nice little char on it. But a lot of those places have kind of taken over, I think.
Red Rocket has
Pizza Company, yeah.
and they they show up at breweries and that
Yeah.
sort of deal, right?
Yeah, he started out in his garage, and I went over there and heard about him, went and we did a little get together with him to get some members to
Yeah.
find out about him, and he's worked hard. He's worked hard to get to where he's at with that food truck, and it's good to see him prosper the way he has.
At the Pizza Summit, a week from Saturday, May 9th at Summit Brewing, you've got and give a little description. I'll read
Yeah.
the name. Brick Oven Bus.
Yeah, they get their sourdough, really heavy crust on the outside. But I did a tour of their place, man. They do a great job. They pay attention to detail, and I think they put out a great product.
You've got OG Zaza, we mentioned. Red Rocket, you mentioned.
Yeah.
Bao Bao Buns, not a pizza.
Not a bun,
But
not no.
delicious.
Yeah, he's supposed to be doing a collab with Parkway Pizza with their sausage and
Ah.
their sauce.
That's fun.
I haven't tried them, to be honest.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. It's
Yeah.
really good. QC Pizza.
Dennis will be there. He'll be selling frozen.
Yeah.
And he actually did pretty good selling a lot of frozens as people were walking out of there last year, bagging them up and taking them home. His dill pickle pizza.
QC is in Matamidi.
Correct.
It's sort of it's sort of tavern-esque, but a little thicker crust, right?
Yeah. Quad City style.
Quad City style.
Yeah.
I used to live in the Quad City.
Oh,
So do I have any affinity to the Quad City style pizza? No. But Rolling Hearth Bistro.
yeah. He's got a brick and mortar out in Eden Prairie, the Hearth. I have a few friends out in Waconia, I think, where he was based out of, and they really
They like
they were really telling me
Cool.
to go reach out to him. So I went and
Alright.
reached out to him, and he's happy to be on board. He's,
You got Tono Pizza. Their growth has been amazing. They're opening in
Yeah.
North Loop
North
on
Loop.
Saturday. Little soft open there on Friday, but Tono's
yeah, I love their Don Pepe. Their sausage is top 5, in my
Nice.
opinion.
Nice. And then you've got a couple others. Omni, which is up in Maple Grove.
Maple Grove
in
and Victoria,
Victoria.
and Rosemount.
Pizza Karma, Pizza Barn, and
yeah.
Black Cat Sauce. So
Yeah.
tons of pizza out there. Do people need to like buy a ticket in advance?
Nope,
or-
this is a free event. But if you want the swag that we got given out, we got tons of giveaway stuff. You just got to donate to Neighborhood House. You'll get tickets, and then we'll do drawings on the hour. We'll be doing that from 11 to, I believe, 4, just because Neighborhood
You guys
House has,
unzip your. We're streaming on YouTube. You can see this is
Yeah.
the shirt, the TCPC,
Yeah.
Twin Cities Pie Chaser.
the retro
I like it.
logo.
Dan Gouget, appreciate all you do for the pizza restaurants and fellow pizza lovers like me. So thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Go check it out Saturday at Summit Brewing in St. Paul. That's To Russia Eats, brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board.